Known as one of the fastest tracks on the NASCAR circuit. Welcome to Michigan International Speedway. High speeds, wide sweeping corners, long straightaways, and no restrictor plate required. The fans are filling in and ready for the roar of racing. The Lazy Days Cup Series, powered by Southern Motorsports and brought to you live through PBR Broadcasting. We welcome everyone at home and thank you for joining us here tonight for another great week of SoMO racing action. This is the Portside Jaguar and Land Rover 145 at Michigan International Speedway. First, let's take a look at what happened last week here at SoMO. Welcome to the Creekfire 65 at Pocono Raceway, where the Southern Motorsports Lazy Days Cup Series pushes on into week 14. There goes the pace car and the green flag is out. 65 laps of action here at Pocono. Really close, a little bit of brushing of the wall there, and something different about this track, and we're going to have to ride along with the driver later on to see if they are doing it. And we got a wreck. We got one in the wall, one into the inside wall, coming back onto the track, and the caution is out. It'll be a race off of turn 3. And it will be Chris getting his first lap led here tonight. Leader right now is showing Lynn McNeese, the 84 of Lynn McNeese out front, with Dean Viney right behind him. And Lynn's not going to give it up. He almost throws the block up in the corner. And he's going to give it up there on the exit to the 42 of Christopher Garoso. Keith Mayato now coming down on him. And Dean Viney has fallen back, getting ready to get passed by Seth Hatchell. There you have it. Christopher Garoso will be your Creekfire.com 65 winner here tonight. Another win for Lazy Days Racing, and he will take over sole ownership of the most wins here this season. Now, we are here at Michigan tonight. Let's take a look at the track. It is a 2-mile track with long straightaways and high banking corners, 18 degrees of banking all around the track for the corners. The back stretch will be at 5 degrees and the front stretch will be 12 degrees of banking. Tonight's race will equate for 290 miles for 145 laps, just under 75% of NASCAR distance. Pit road is concrete, so drivers will need to either brake earlier than they are used to or risk sliding through their pit boxes tonight. Drivers will also have to be extra cautious leaving their boxes and going back onto the track due to the change in surface. Pit road opens up wide off of turn 4, so it's not a matter of being too fast coming off of turn 4 to the pits. It's a matter of slowing down too much and entering the pit while setting up for the pit stop. Now let's take a look at the championship. Seth Hatchell maintains the championship lead, but the gap has tightened, 17 points back. And last week's winner, Christopher Garoso, who has run the fastest time here in practice today, is in second in points. We go to Adam Baker, who is third, running the second fastest time in practice. He's gained 6 places last week after a top 5 performance at Pocono. Bob Skinner, one of the biggest movers last week. Let's see, is he on the track? He is. He's running 15th right now in time with 7 positions gained at Pocono, is currently scored as 4th. Rounding out the top 5 in points before tonight's race is David Howard Jr., who is currently showing as 7th. He had a quiet night last week, finishing 11th. So, as we head to qualifying, take a look at some of the big stories of tonight's race. Right now, we are halfway to the chase, and the last 5 in are Jeff Sharp, currently tied for 12th with Paul Zota, but fell 2 positions last week after wrecking early. Paul Zota, consistency. Paul is one of the top guys, or has Paul is one of the top guys for this year's Ironman award with 2,053 laps out of a possible 2,140 laps ran this year. Look for Paul to continue his consistency tonight. Kurt Davidson. Kurt is not here actually, so that spot may be open for somebody to jump to. Kurt is currently running 14th and has had very strong top 10 performances. David Gainforth is also one of the last 5 in right now. He's currently running 20. This is qualifying. He hasn't put a qualifying time down yet. Currently 15th and is another consistent driver that we'll see work his way through the field. The gatekeeper to the chase and someone who will be a major dark horse going into the chase is Brad Hicks. And doesn't look like we have Brad here tonight either, so that position may be lost tonight. Go to some more stories here. Stephen Burnett, who ran into some trouble through the beginning of the season, looks to finally break through and get his first win of the season. Burnett is the defending champion of the Michigan 145. Seth Hatchell, who's currently our points leader, hasn't put down a time quite yet. Looks like Seth Hatchell led the most laps last year, but was edged out by Burnett on fuel strategy. Lupe Gonzalez currently goes as 8th place. Won both the SoMO Truck and Xfinity Series races at Michigan this week. Now, we do have a little bit of time before qualifying ends. Let's go ahead and step away for tonight's national anthem.
Guys. And now, the most famous words in motorsports. Gentlemen, start your engine!
All right, and we are nearing the end of qualifying now. And it does look like last week's winner, Christopher Garoso, is on top of the pole. And right behind him, last year's winner, Stephen Burnett. It does look like everybody is starting to wrap up their qualifying runs. All right, it will wrap up, and we do have a new pole sitter. Last week's pole sitter See if these two go to battle once again here tonight. We'll wait for that to wrap up. But as we wait for that to wrap up and guys to start gridding, let's take a look at the starting grid. Starting on the pole tonight will be Keith Mayato. Chris Caroso, Lazy Dayz Racing, will be starting second. Stephen Burnett, last year's winner, will be starting third, with Chris Samard starting fourth. Aaron Riley will start fifth tonight, and Adam Baker will start sixth. Joe Mitchell will be starting in the seventh position, and David Howard Jr. will start eighth. Seth Hatchell, points leader, will start ninth tonight. Shane Pippola will start 10th, rounding out the top 10. Lupe Gonzalez, who's had a strong week here this week, will start 11th. Dean Viney of GAC Racing will start 12th. Jeff Glockner and Lynn McNeese will start 13th and 14th, both of GAC Racing. David Gainforth, also a GAC racer, will start 15th. Justin Kern will start 16th. Paul Cohen will start 17th tonight. Paul Zoda will start 18th. Jeff Sharp will start 19th. Mark McFadden, also racing with the GAC boys, will start 20th. Jim Locking will start 21st, and Bob Skinner will round out the field tonight, starting in 22nd. $145 laps, just under 75% of the full distance race here tonight. So these guys will be running roughly, the fuel window seems to be around lap 30 to lap 35, as the tires will go long before the fuel will. The pace car will be getting ready to drop off any moment now as they come around turn number 4. And the green flag is out. We're off to racing here. The Portside Jaguar and Land Rover 145 laps here tonight at Michigan International Speedway. And Keith Mayato out strong, and Stephen Burnett will pass Chris Caroso for that second spot. And it looks like we might be having an issue with the overlay. We're going to see if we can get this fixed real quick. As we head into lap 2, it does look like Stephen Burnett will take over the lead for the moment. Keith Mayato will gain it back, though, on the backstretch. And the battle is right here up front. Stephen Burnett, last year's winner, right on the tail of Keith Mayato, and Christopher Garoso, last week's winner, right behind them. And let's take a look at the battle we have right here, as it does look like 3/10 will separate the top three right now. It's really about the battle up front between Keith Mayato and Stephen Burnett. Another good battle going on right now. The 77 of Chris Samard and the 8 of Seth Hatchell. And in that mix also the 48 of Adam Baker. That's all for the top 5 right now. Joe Mitchell, currently running in 4th, is not far behind Chris Garoso as well. And Burnett right on the back bumper of the 09 of Keith Mayato. It looks like we might have a battle back here. We have a whole bunch of cars back here in the 16th position. And Mark McFadden just moved up into 16th, I believe. Behind him, you have David Gainforth, Jim Locking, Paul Cohen trying to make a pass on the outside of Jim Locking, Bob Skinner, Jeff Sharp, Aaron Riley. Not sure what happened to him, but he is showing 1 lap down. We'll go back out front and watch this battle unfold as Chris Garoso has closed the gap. It is now a 0.3 second gap between the top 3. Go back and check out Christopher Garoso real quick. Starting in second, has fallen back to 3rd. Currently leads the league with 3 wins. Broke that tie with Keith Mayato last week at Pocono. They battled it out to try to get that title from each other. Right now he's running in 3rd. If this were to finish out like this, Keith would tie it back up. We'll continue to watch this battle up front. I'm not sure what happened to Aaron Riley to cause him to go 1 lap down. I'm not sure if he missed the start. He was showing as starting 5th. I'm not sure why. Maybe he elected to start from the pits, but he has fallen all the way back to 22nd, 1 lap down. He will be in the lucky dog position if a caution were to come out. And we are trying to figure out why. Trying to fix, having a little bit of technical difficulties here, trying to get them fixed on the fly. And Stephen Burnett lost it for a second. We still have green flag racing. Stephen Burnett lost it coming off the corner. Take one more look at that. See if we can go back just a little bit more. Just lost it coming off the corner, it looks like. Able to keep it off the wall, no damage for him. So we will stay green flag racing. Tough break for Burnett as he falls back to 21st. And we are going to take a quick break here. We're going to try to get things sorted out and get the connection fixed for you guys so we can see a better race here for you guys. Be right back. We're going to stick with this, see if maybe we can figure out on the fly what's going on and why we're having issues here. But we are going to stick with the race. We're going to do a quick reboot, but we're going to skip that here. But right now, Keith Mayato is up front. Christopher Garoso currently showing as second. And Stephen Burnett still back there trying to make up for the spin he had off of 2. He is about 5 seconds back, and really the whole pack, minus Rosso and Aaron Riley, who is trying to get a lap back. He is still 1 lap down, but you go ahead of Stephen Burnett into 20th, and 13 seconds separates the top 20 right now. And it does look like we are still having issues, so we'll be right back. We're going to get this fixed for you guys. All right, folks, we're going to see. It's still skipping. We are going to kind of fight through this right now. We are 24 laps in. All right, folks, I think we got the problem fixed. We're going to see how it looks. Sorry about all of that, those technical issues we've had, but hopefully we are set and we're good to go now as we are on lap 26. And right now, your leader is Keith Mayato, who has led all 25 laps here tonight. So let's go up front to Keith Mayato. We're going to do everything we can here to try to get things cleaned up with the stream as we go so you guys don't miss any more of the action here tonight. So let's take a look at last year's winner, or last year's champion. Lupe Gonzalez started in 11th, has gotten up to 7th. He also won this week's Lazy Days Racing Truck and Lazy Days Racing Xfinity Series races. So he does have some experience here at Michigan, as right now he is making the pass on the points leader, Seth Hatchell. And he hasn't yet passed Seth, but let's look back up front as Keith and Chris back to battling. They are on just about to come to lap 30, so we are getting near the first green flag pit stops of the night. And Keith has been coming on strong since we hit the halfway point here in SoMo, pulling off a win, pulling off 2 wins this summer. And he also won the All-Star race, so he is definitely a driver to watch out there. So, as we come near the first pit stops, let's take a look at the field and how they stand right now. And so we actually do have some pit stops going on, so we'll wait till after that closes up because we have a couple guys on pit road. So let's go to our green cone cam, find where it went to, and it looks like our cone cam disappeared. So the first 3 on pit road: Seth Hatchell, Joe Mitchell, Adam Baker, Paul Zoda now 1 lap down. And he has pitted, as well as Dean Viney, Aaron Riley, who has been 1 lap down since the race started, has not pitted. So the first one to pit was Seth Hatchell. Look for more takers to pit road here. As they're ticking away laps, lap 33 of 145 here at Michigan. And we do have some more takers to pit road. No, we don't. Excuse me, that was a mistake. Steven Burnett does go down pit road, though. And he's coming off right now. Looking for the next takers to pit road. And let's look for our biggest mover at the moment. Do we have it? I don't think we have the biggest mover on our board right now, so we'll have to skip that for the moment. As we're looking to see when does Keith Mayato come down and take his first green flag pit stop. They're coming around on lap 36. And we do have a couple more takers. Christopher Grosso, David Howard Jr., Shane Pippola down to pit road. We are still waiting to see when Keith Mayato will come down pit road, and I imagine we see him this time around with Chris Grosso pitting behind him. And he will not. He will stay out one more time as the 18 of Joe Mitchell will get his lap back. We are currently looking at 10 on the lead lap. As now Keith Mayato's got lap traffic getting ready to pass him. Adam Baker right behind him. So he will have to stay out one more time as Adam Baker goes around him. And now he's got the 8 of Seth Hatchell coming up on him. And we do have some more takers to pit road. Looks like David Gainforth, Jeff Sharp down pit road. We'll go back out front to Keith Mayato as he has yet to pit. Lupe Gonzalez right behind him. Lynn McNeese behind both of them. And then you have actually Paul Zoda starting to creep up and try to get a lap back. That Mobile One car. So Keith Mayato now coming down pit road. That'll give the lead up to Lupe Gonzalez for his first laps led here tonight. So the first lead change of the night, as Lupe Gonzalez currently showing as your leader. So I'll pay attention to see when we see Lupe Gonzalez go in, and it does look like he is, he is bringing that car down. He should be coming down to pit road. He has slowed down quite a lot going into 3 and 4, and he is now on pit road. That'll give the lead up to Joe Mitchell if he elects to stay out in the 18 Skittles machine. Or excuse me, Joe Mitchell has already pitted. He will get the lead if he can beat Lupe out of the pits, and it does look like Lupe has just stopped. So he should be the leader here with it looks like a 1.5 second gap back to Adam Baker. Let's talk about the track a little bit here. 73 feet. That's how big the turns are. Going into the corner, the apron is 10 feet wide, closing to 45 feet wide, with the apron being 12 feet on the front stretch. So these guys have a lot of room to work in the corners. And you better pick your spot quick, because the front and back stretch closes quickly from 73 to 45 feet. And let's take a look at where Joe Mitchell started. He started 7th tonight, fell all the way back to 18th after his pit stop. He is now showing up front. And Chris Garoso has moved into 2nd. And he's charging towards the front. Now, last week we didn't really see it much. We'll definitely have to ask these drivers how much the new tire model and how the track keeps heat and loses heat throughout the runs will affect these guys. This is definitely a track where you will be able to feel it. I know personally, driving in the NIS series, you could feel a difference from where the track was hot to where the track was cool. So we'll see if these guys maybe change their line. As you see, Joe Mitchell kind of running that higher line through 1 and 2. He does hit the wall coming off the corner, and that's going to give the lead up to Christopher Garoso. So Christopher Garoso will take over the lead for the moment. And he is growing a pretty good lead over Joe Mitchell. Joe Mitchell, who hit that wall, will have a little bit of damage on the right side of his car, as right now he's in a battle with Adam Baker. As Joe Mitchell will go high, giving up the 2nd position to Adam Baker, who is 2 seconds behind Chris Garoso. Keith Mayato has got some distance to make up. He is 3.9 back from Chris Garoso. Seth Hatchell, the points leader, right behind him. David Howard Jr. currently showing as 4th, running a pretty good, strong battle, as he's going to pass Joe Mitchell for the 3rd position. And now David Howard Jr. is getting very close to passing Adam Baker for that 2nd position. He's going to go to the inside line, trying to get around him in turn 3 and 4. He will get the bottom run, the preferred line here. He will make the easy pass on the 48 of Adam Baker. He is still 3 seconds behind Chris Garoso, though. Keith Mayato still sitting back at 3.6. Joe Mitchell now 4.6 back. Got to go back another 1.5 the 6th place, Seth Hatchell. And you know what? While we're at it, let's take a look through the field and where these guys started. So let's go up front to Chris Garoso, who does have 4 laps led. He started 2nd tonight, fell all the way back to 13th, and now is up front. David Howard Jr., who did make the pass on Adam Baker, who has started to fall back. David Howard Jr., this is his highest position he's been tonight. Started 8th, fell all the way back to 14th at one point. Adam Baker, currently showing as 4th. His highest position was 2nd. We saw him up there battling with Garoso for a moment. He started 6th tonight, so he's up 2 positions. Joe Mitchell, who started 7th, led 3 laps, has a little bit of damage on that right side, but is currently showing as 5th. Seth Hatchell, the points leader, started 9th tonight, up to 6th. Shane Papala, who started 10th, has moved his way up to 7th, having a little bit of connection issues there. Chris Samard, who put on a pretty good show last week at Pocono, started 4th tonight, has fallen back to 8th. Lupe Gonzalez, who we saw lead just before his pit stop, started 11th tonight, up to 9th, also led 2 laps. Lynn McNeese, who started 14th, is currently showing as 10th. Bob Skinner started 22nd, now sits 11th, so he has made up 11 spots tonight as he tries to move up in the chase battle. Jim Locking, who started 21st, also has moved up 11 spots to the 12th position. Stephen Burnett, who we saw have some troubles early on, started 3rd, now sits in 13th. He is battling back. He's got some time to make up as he's still 24 seconds back from the leader. Paul Zota, who started 18th tonight, has moved up to 15th. And like we said, consistency is the key for Paul. He is running smooth, trying to get his points. David Gainforth started 15th tonight, has fallen 1 position back to 16th in the Cartoon Network's car. Mark McFadden started 20th tonight, 3 spots gained, up to 17th. Paul Cohen started 17th tonight, has moved 1 position back to 18th. Jeff Glockner started 13th tonight. He is in a battle right now with Jeff Sharp. He is currently showing as 19th. Jeff Sharp started 19th and has fallen 1 position back to 20th. Aaron Riley started 5th. I'm not sure what happened to him. He doesn't have any damage on the car, but he is showing 2 laps down in 21st. And Dean Viney does look like has left the track for the night. So we'll go back up front to Chris Garoso, who now has 9 laps led. Lap 53 of 145 here tonight. And before these guys go to their second pit stops, let's take a ride along with Chris Grosso as actually Keith Mayato is getting close, 1.3 seconds back, but let's take a ride along with the current leader. And you can hear just how much Chris Grosso is having to use some throttle control in the corner. But he is still able to hold on to the lead. And I imagine we will see him come down pit road before Keith, as we are roughly about 10 laps out from pit stops. As we've actually had our first taker to the pits, that is Paul Zota, who's coming off pit road right now. Little bit of right front damage to that 99 machine. But he'll get back out there and get back to running as he is showing 1 lap down right now. Go back out front as the battle's going to heat up here. Down to 2/10, down to a tenth. Keith Mayato starting to get close to Christopher Garoso. Going into turn 1, they're going to be right in the same line. Not seeing Keith make a dangerous move to try to make the pass. He's going to get right on the bumper of the 42, try to pass him high, try to block the top. He's going to go to the bottom now. Going on the backstretch, side by side they go into turn number 3. And it does look like Keith's going to have the preferred line and take the lead from Christopher Garoso. They're going to remain side by side coming out of 4. And it will be Keith Mayato taking the lead and leading his 39th lap here tonight. So now do we see Christopher Garoso come down pit road and get fresh tires and try to get out before Keith does and try to make a run in that time that before he makes his pit stop. And we're waiting for the next pit stops to see who's coming down next. We have not had a caution. 61 laps or 60 laps in the books and no cautions here tonight. And we still have 19 drivers on the lead lap. Jeff Sharp is getting close to being lapped, but has not yet. We're going to look at this gap that I just noticed here. Go back to Christopher Garoso and look at the difference between the top 3. Keith Mayato up front, Christopher Garoso in second, and he's got 7/10 gaining. And so he's going to be up to a second shortly. And then between Garoso and Howard Jr., you have almost 3 seconds between them. And it does look like we have our second taker to take it behind the wall. David Gainforth has dropped out of the race. And I'm not quite sure what happened there. And it looks like Gainforth might have had an off track. And we'll see if we can take a look at this real quick. And Bob Skinner, I think Bob Skinner had a contact with the wall. We are not seeing it here, so let's just go back up front. And it looks like we have a little bit of a battle going on here for the 4th position. That is Shane Papala and Chris Simard. Or Shane Pippola, sorry about that. It does look like that has cleared out a little bit. So let's go back out front to Keith Mayato, has opened up a 1.2 second lead on Chris Garoso. We are still waiting for those second pit stops to take place. Paul Zoda took his early. As now Keith's starting to work on some lap traffic. 46 laps led for Keith Mayato, and he leads it by far with Christopher Garoso with 14, Lupe Gonzalez with 2, Joe Mitchell with 3. As he is kind of within striking distance of locking that up already. But right now he is on the bumper. Oh, excuse me. They have gone to pit road. Seth Hatchell, Joe Mitchell to pit road. I was going to say the leader, Keith Mayato, on the bumper of the 51. He's going to go low and let Keith Mayato make the pass, which puts Jeff Glockner, the next victim, to go one lap down. And does Jeff go low and let the leader make the pass here? It looks like he went low. He's going to start to drift high. As he hasn't quite made the pass on Glockner. We do have one more to pit road. It is Lupe Gonzalez, who's going to short pit this time after taking it, riding around for a long time the last stop. Keith Mayato will stay out 2 seconds now for Keith. And it does look like Keith kind of slowed it up a little bit, but it doesn't look like he'll be coming down to pit road quite yet. As we head to lap 70, 69 laps in the books, and no cautions here tonight. And after the second round of green flag stops, we'll make sure to take a look at these standings, as Keith's going to get a little bit loose coming out of the corner there. We do have another taker to pit road. That is the 48 of Adam Baker down on pit road. Had a pretty solid run on that green flag stunt. Keith Mayato will stay out one more lap, claiming his 52nd lap lead tonight. And we're looking for our next ticker. That Jeff Sharp went down pit road. And it looks like Stephen Burnett pulling off pit road right now. We have another one. Mark McFadden coming down pit road for his pit stop. And I'm not sure what happened to Joe Mitchell, but he is showing 2 laps down. Seth Hatchell showing 2 laps down. Currently in 19th. Mark McFadden down on pit road. Keith Mayato still out there leading laps. Lap 73 right now. And we do have more takers to pit road. That is the 42 of Chris Caroso down on pit road. The 7 of David Howard Jr. will follow. So Shane Pippola and Chris Samard will move into second and third. That's going to open up almost a 12 or 11 second gap between first and second. So it's interesting to see the different strategies here. The first car who has pitted, the 42 of Christopher Garoso. But in front of him, he's got Justin Kern, Jim Locking, Lynn McNeese, Chris Samard, Shane Pippola, and Keith Mayato, who still have yet to pit. And you can see the wiggle there by the 09 coming off the corner. And we're looking to see when Keith Mayato's last stop was. It was 39. So if that's the case, we should see him coming down either this lap, next lap, or maybe 79 if he can stretch 40 laps on this tank. And looks like he's bringing it down. He will bring it down pit road, so that'll give up the lead to Lynn McNeese if he decides to bring it down. Chris Samard, Shane Pippola also down on pit road, along with Jim Locking. So depending on if Lynn can get in front of Keith before he comes out of the pits, Lynn may be your leader. And it does look like Lynn will stay out, so Lynn McNeese will be your leader here. Coming to lap 79. We'll see if he can get around for one lap before Keith comes off pit road and makes the pass. Keith now coming off pit road. It'll be close, but it should be Lynn McNeese, your new leader here. Lap 78 of 145. And he will stay out and collect his bonus point. And we are seeing that time drop. It is 16 seconds. Make that 12 seconds in front of Chris Caroso. And depending on these guys' strategies, they could have 2, maybe 1 stop if they push it. But right now, Christopher Garoso coming around to take the lead. And we'll see if he beats him to the line. It does look like he'll beat him to the line. So Christopher Garoso will be your leader on lap 80. And Chris does have looks like a 3.5 second lead on second place. That is David Howard Jr. But Keith Mayato is getting ready to make the pass for second place. Go back and watch that battle unfold. Keith's waiting for his moment, trying not to burn up his tires. He's going to go to the high side. David Howard Jr. to the bottom. And now we're going to see Keith make that move on the bottom line. He's going to go to the inside of 3 and 4. That preferred line we've talked about earlier in the race, he's going to go there, and he's going to make the clean pass on the 7 of David Howard Jr. And as we have passed the halfway point, let's take a look at where everyone sits here now. Christopher Garoso started second, is up front, 17 laps led for Garoso. Keith Mayato started on the pole tonight, has led 58 laps, currently showing as second. David Howard Jr. started 8th, now shows 3rd. Lupe Gonzalez is making a charge late in the race, 2 laps led for him. He started 11th tonight, is showing as 4th. Adam Baker started 6th, now up in 5th. Shane Pippola started 10th, has moved his way up to 6th. Chris Samardi started 4th, falls back to 7th. Lynn McNeese led 1 lap earlier today, started 14th, now in 8th. Jim Locking started 21st, now up in 9th, is definitely our hard charger at the moment. Stephen Burnett, who started 3rd, had a spin, has worked his way back up into the top 10. Bob Skinner trying to battle down Jim Locking for that hard charger award here tonight. Started 22nd, now in 11th. Justin Kern started 16th tonight, one of Stephen Burnett's teammates, currently showing as 12th. Jeff Sharp started 19th, has battled up here late in the race, is currently showing 13th. Paul Zoda started 18th tonight, is still showing 1 lap down as he is running 15th. Seth Hatchell, not sure what happened to Seth, started 9th tonight, back in 16th, and that is going to be a battle that unfolds because every point is going to matter for Seth with Chris in the lead at the moment. Joe Mitchell, I think he got some damage repaired. That right side looks a little bit better. Started 7th tonight, led 3 laps, currently showing as 17th. Jeff Glockner, who's going to make the pass on Joe Mitchell, started 13th tonight, currently in 18th. Paul Cohen started 17th tonight, has fallen back to 19th. And rounding out your field at the moment, Aaron Riley, who started 5th, shows in 20th. And David Gainforth and Dean Viney have taken their cars behind the wall. But there's still 2.6 seconds separating Christopher Garoso and Keith Mayato. Let's go back and look at Jim Locking really quick. He starts 21st, up in 9th. And something to bring up here. We're not going to see anybody beat this record tonight. But back in June of 2009, Mark Martin gained 32 positions to win the race and is currently the record holder for the most spots gained at Michigan. So great job by Jim Locking here tonight, as he has gained a ton of positions going from 21st to 9th. So he has gone up 12 positions tonight. We'll go back out front to Chris Garoso as we're coming to lap 90. And it is still, it's closing up as Keith Mayato has closed up that gap to a 1.5 second interval between the two. And, you know, talking about these two with the most wins in SoMO this year in the Cup Series. Michigan, you could say a couple things here, but really the record books are lined with racing royalty. David Pearson leads in wins with 9 wins at Michigan. Cale Yarborough is leading the top 5s, and Jeff Gordon leading in top 10s. So, you know, this is definitely the place to be for a showdown between these two drivers, trying to lead with the most wins in the SoMO Cup Series. Keith now less than a second as he gets around Bob Skinner. 10 cars on the lead lap. No cautions here tonight. And now Stephen Burnett in trouble of going a lap down. Last year's winner struggling early. Needed a caution. We haven't had a caution all night, so he's been forced to kind of battle it out and try to get a lap. But now, are we going to see a pass for the lead? Down to 5/10 for Keith. That 42 Jaws graphics car trying to hold off the charge of the 09 of Keith Mayato, down to 2/10. Down to 1/10 for Keith Mayato. And are we going to see a pass here? Chris will lead one more lap, going to 29 laps led for Chris Garoso, as he's trying to stay in the hunt for the most laps led tonight and gain an extra point. But right now, Keith Mayato to the bottom line. They're going to go side by side coming out of 2. And it will be Chris Garoso with the advantage. Going into 3 and 4, this is where it's going to get interesting. Keith Mayato is going to let off a little bit earlier, and he's going to fly by the 42 of Christopher Garoso. We're going to have a new leader here on lap 95. Keith Mayato back to the lead. "59 laps led now for Keith Mayato. Keith Mayato now pulling away, almost has gained a second on Christopher Garoso. who probably burned his tires up because he has been on the track now. Let's see when his last pit stop was. And I think Paul Zota ran into some problems as, let's see if we can, oh, it was back on lap 92 as he pitted twice on the same lap. So I'm wondering if he maybe ran into a black flag under green flag conditions. But Keith Mato pitted on lap 77, and Chris Grosso pitted 4 laps earlier on 73. So we are getting very close to another green flag stop, as it should be roughly, I would guess, between 100 and 110. We'll see everybody coming back down pit road. Now let's go back to third. David Howard Jr., who has been in this fight the whole time. Been very consistent out here tonight. And, you know, we talked about how he had a quiet night last week, finishing 11th. He is in the top 5 in points, but he hasn't really made a big storm here tonight, and he's running third place. So great job to David Howard Jr. Hopefully he can finish out strong. Right now he does have quite a bit of distance back to Shane Pippola, as there is roughly a 9-second difference right now between those two. But David Howard Jr., great job by him. He's going to try to move up in the points with Bob Skinner and Seth Hatchell both struggling right now. Seth Hatchell still showing back in 17th. 1 lap down. Another driver in the top 5 right now, Adam Baker, is currently running 5th. He is 3rd in points. So he's going to stay right there with Christopher Grosso as Grosso tries to make the pass in points on Seth Hatchell. And now Keith Mayato out to a 2 and almost a half second lead. 65 laps led for Keith. Let's see if we can get a points or a laps led update here. And I think if Keith can get to lap 110 and still have the lead, he will lock it. And actually, if he gets to probably 104, 105, he will lock the most laps led here tonight. Now out to a 3-second lead for Keith Mayato. Take a look. Where do we have a battle? And it looks like right now the battle is for 6th place between Chris Simard and Lupe Gonzalez. These guys are 18 seconds back from the leader. They're still battling out here, trying to get position. Chris Simard had a great night last week. But like we mentioned in the pre-race, look for Lupe Gonzalez to try to make a pass, trying to get up there. I'm surprised to see him this far back. There is almost 40 laps left in the race, so he still has some time. but I think he needs a caution to get back up to the leader and have a shot. So with this lap led, Keith Mayotte will lock the most laps led here tonight. And with that, let's take a look at the race summary. Keith Mayotte is in the lead. We've had 7 league changes here tonight. And the 36,505, who does that belong to? 36,505 belongs to Aaron Riley, running in 18th, 1 lap down. So he has been sticking it out there, trying to battle it. And he does have the fastest time on the track at the moment. So great job by Aaron Riley. Even though he's been having a tough day out there, he is still out there running some hard laps. We're looking to see when do we have our first stops. Actually, Joe Mitchell on pit road getting a 4-tire change and trying to get back out there before he goes 2 laps down, as he will try to get 1 lap back before Keith Mayotte comes down pit road. Let's go back out to Keith to see when he comes down. And I imagine we'll see these drivers stretch it as long as they can to make it to the end here. And you can make it 40 laps, but it's not advised, as after 33 laps, you are going to see those tires start to wear down. And we are seeing some more takers down pit road. Lupe Gonzalez comes down. Seth Hatchell coming down as well. So Lupe Gonzalez elects to kind of short pit here as we're coming close to 35 to go. And who will be the next taker down pit road? And it does look like we have our 3rd retiree of the night. Paul Zota will pull it off. Look to see here if maybe he had a connection issue. Nope, Paul Zota did not have a connection issue. He pulled his car off the track as he was 3 laps down prior to that issue. So 19 cars will remain on the track right now, and we are showing 8 on the lead lap. We do have more takers down pit road. Adam Baker, Chris Samard down on pit road. Jeff Sharp also coming down. Jeff Glockner also on pit road. Keith Mayotte still out running laps, no problem. Out to a 6-second lead over Chris Garoso. Six cars now remaining on the lead lap. Stephen Burnett down on pit road. Bob Skinner also coming to pit road. And Jim Locking will come down, so that'll put 5 cars on that lead lap. And Keith Mayotte now coming down pit road. That'll give the lead up to Chris Garoso once again, as he will stay out and try to run that car as long as he can. 30 laps led now for Chris on lap 112. David Howard Jr. also came down with Keith Maoto, and so did Shane Pippola. Lupe Gonzalez has already stopped. Lynn McNeese out there, he's going to try to gain a lap on Grosso and try to gain another lap led. He does have one here tonight. Lupe Gonzalez was coming off pit road. We thought it was Lupe. It was Lynn. Chris Grosso comes down pit road after leading a lap. And let's see if Lynn McNeese can make it around before Grosso comes out of pit road. So coming around on the front stretch now, the 84 of Lynn McNeese is not going to be able to pass and make the lap led just yet. But he will take over the lead for the moment. So here on lap 113, Lynn McNeese will go into the lead. Gets a little bit loose coming off the corner. He will be able to hold it together. 9.5 back to Keith Maoto at the moment. As Christopher Grosso coming off pit road, he's got 16 seconds that will separate. And now Lynn McNeese comes down pit road. We'll see if that gives the lead back up to Keith Maoto. And here comes Keith. Lap 114, Keith Maoto will take over the lead. As we saw Lynn McNeese go down pit road. Justin Kern, 2 stops, has yet to stop here. And it looks like Adam Baker might be experiencing a little bit of connection issues. Guys, we're battling a lot of storms out there tonight. Aaron Riley now on pit road. And we're seeing Chris chip away at the distance between him and Keith down to 8 seconds. Adam Baker still battling connection issues. 8 cars remain on the lead lap. Shane Pippola is the last one on the lead lap. Lupe Gonzalez in 7th. Chris Simard in 6th. Adam Baker in 5th. Justin Kern up in 4th. Where did Justin Kern start tonight? 16th up to 4th. He has not pitted yet, though. David Howard Jr. in 3rd. Chris Grosso in 2nd. And Keith Maoto up front leading the laps here. Coming to lap 117. And let's take a ride along with our leader, Keith Maoto. And we have seen that lead for Keith kind of dip down to 7-4. We'll go back to Chris Grosso as he's got, actually, let's go back to Chris Simard. He's got a battle on his hands with Lupe Gonzalez as Lupe is trying to get into that top 5 right now. He's going to go to the inside of Chris Simard. He's battling out there, trying to get it. He will not get it, but he's going to remain close. Saw him kind of fall back there. We know that inside line does kind of get rough on those tires, as they're coming to 25 to go next time around. Go back out to Keith Maeda, who's in the lead. 7.4 seconds for him right now over Chris Caroso, who's starting to make a charge. He's kind of ticking away a little bit at a time. Got roughly 25 laps left to try to make up that 7.5 second deficit. And that is Aaron Riley trying to make the pass and gain 1 lap back, as he'll still show as 1 lap down as he tries to stay ahead of the leader Keith Maeda, who has dropped down to 7 seconds ahead of Chris Caroso. But we are coming within the 20 to go, as they are roughly 22 laps remaining at the moment. And Chris Caroso has a battle on his hands with David Howard Jr. at the moment, 0.5 seconds back. Chris is going to get a little bit loose coming off the corner. He's able to hold it together, though. David Howard Jr. is still 0.5 seconds back from Chris Caroso, as he's going to try to battle to get that second place. Let's take a look back. Actually, let's take a rundown of the field as we get the 20 to go this time around. So Keith Maeda started on the pole, is still up front. 88 laps led for him. Chris Caroso started second tonight, sits in second. 31 laps led for Chris. David Howard Jr., who started 8th, up into 3rd. Adam Baker, who started 6th tonight, is in 4th. Chris Samard, who started 4th, has fallen back to 5th and is in a battle right now with the 89 of Shane Pippola, who started 10th and is now showing as 6th. Lupe Gonzalez started 11th tonight and shows as 7th with 2 laps led. Jim Locking started 21st, now in 8th. Lynn McNee started 14th, showing as 9th. Also has 1 lap led. Stephen Burnett, who started 3rd, now sits in 10th. Jeff Sharp, who started 19th tonight, is sitting in 11th. Justin Kern, who started 16th, is up in 12th. Mark McFadden, who started 20th, is up in 13th. Bob Skinner, who started 22nd, now in 14th. Paul Cohen, who started 17th, has moved his way up into 15th. Seth Hatchell started 9th tonight, back in 16th. Aaron Riley, who started 5th, now showing as 17th. Jeff Glockner, who started 13th, back in 18th. And rounding out your field right now, Joe Mitchell, who started 7th, showing as 19th, also has 3 laps led. We'll go back out to the leader, Keith Mayato, as he's going to take his 91st lap led with 17 to go now. So 15 to go now for Keith Mayato. Still has roughly a 7-second lead. And we do have a battle in the top 5. Shane Pippola is right in front of Adam Baker, and I believe he just made the pass for the 4th position. $13 to go now for Keith Mayato. Let's go back out front. That's Chris Grosso. Let's go back out front to Keith Mayato as he's extended his lead back to 7 seconds. As we have the 12 to go. Keith Mayato starting to work through a lot of lap traffic with 7 cars remaining on the lead lap. The last car is Lupe Gonzalez. And really, after the leader, they are all spread out. We do have one battle on our hands. That is Jim Locking and Lynn McNeese battling for the 8th position. As Lynn's going to go to the inside line and make the pass. And it does look like he will clear Jim Locking. Jim Locking, most spots gained here tonight. And now they have the number 7 of David Howard Jr. behind them. Trying everything he can to catch Chris Grosso, but it does look like he has started to fall back as we have 11 to go. Let's go back to this battle between Lynn McNeese and Jim Locking. Still side by side as they go into 3. Jim Locking trying to get the inside line. He's not going to quite get it. He is going to send the 84 of Lynn McNeese up the hill, though. And they are going to go side by side coming out of the corner. So Jim Locking battling for that position, but it's kind of making it tough on third place, David Howard Jr. And they're going to go single file right in front of David Howard. Jim Locking trying to look for a way around the 84 Peanuts machine. And we're going to stick with this battle because this is the biggest battle on the track right now, the closest battle between these two. Both 1 lap down, but still trying to battle for points, battle for pride right now. As they come around to get the 8 to go. And Keith Mayato, let's go out to him once more. 100 laps led for Keith Mayato with 8 to go. And that time now extended to 7.6, 7.7 at times. Doesn't look like anybody will be catching Keith tonight. And he will be tying Christopher Garozzo for the most wins here in the Southern Motorsports Cup Series. Seven laps to go now for the 09 machine as he makes his 101st lap led. He's coming around to make it 102. And it does look like Lupe Gonzalez will manage to stay on the lead lap. But this battle's still going on for the 8th position. That is between Lynn McNeese and Jim Locking still. And they're going to have 6 more laps to battle it out and try to figure out where they're going to land for that extra point. Five to go now for these guys. As Keith Mayato now out to an 8-second lead. Side by side, though, these guys battle for 8th. And Jim Locking will not get the advantage coming off the corner. And as a matter of fact, David Howard looking for a way around him. He is still stuck behind these two. And it does look like they will work it out as it's going to go 4 to go, coming to 3 to go. As there we go, we will get the 3 to go now as Keith Mayato now out to 105 laps led tonight. As he's going to start to slow up, try to take his time back to 7.6. Chris Grosso giving it everything he's got, trying to gain the time. I don't think he can do it in 3 laps, though. We are on the 2 to go. Let's go ahead and follow Keith Mayato as he comes around, trying to go around to the white flag. He is. Is he saving fuel? I'm wondering if he might be short, because he has given up a second and a lap. He's starting to give up a lot of time here, but he is coming around to the white flag. White flag is out. One more lap here at Michigan International Speedway. No cautions here tonight for the Southern Motorsports Cup Series. And coming around to take the win here tonight, Keith Mayato will win the Portside Jaguar and Land Rover 145 at Michigan. And we'll be right back after this with our interviews.
Do more and stay active with O2 Dermalief, the ache and pain relief gel like no other. No smell, no tingling sensation, and no greasy feel, O2 Dermalief is a natural pain relief for everyday aches, pains, bumps, and bruises. Oxygen is the secret. It's the natural way to relieve and revitalize. Your joints, muscles, and skin need oxygen to thrive, and O2 Dermalief delivers a rich supply of molecular oxygen in a new, state-of-the-art formula. Every day we hear new stories of pain relief from satisfied customers. Shouldn't you try O2 Dermalief too? Score a $5 discount on your purchase of O2 Dermalief. Visit O2Dermalief.com and use promo code SoMO999. That's the letter O, the number 2, Dermalief.com, and enter SoMO999 to get your $5 discount.
All right, and we are back, and we got Keith in the booth here, so let's see if we can get him here. Keith Mayato, you got a copy?
10-4.
Well, man, you definitely put on a show out there tonight, leading 108 laps and pulling off the win, and you actually tie Chris Grosso once again for the most wins this season. How was it out there tonight?
It was a lot of fun, actually. The setup was pretty comfortable. Got a little loose on the long run coming out of the turns, but it was fun. I was wondering if it was going to be a fuel mileage race like it was last night, and I kind of got bitten by that one, but I'm happy it went green.
Now, do you and Chris have something going on here? Because, I mean, you guys, week after week, you know, one starts to kind of edge forward and the other one kind of pushes right back the following week.
We might. We don't talk to each other much. Not like, I don't think we don't like each other, but I think it's a competitive edge. We race each other hard every week, which is fun.
Now, iRacing did have that update last week, and we didn't really see it much at Pocono. Did you notice any difference with tire wear and difference in track temps tonight?
I noticed with a tire, you can be more aggressive. Like you can run hard a lot longer than you used to. Before you can probably run like 10, 15 hard, and then you fall off. Where here you can run hard every single lap, and it doesn't have a tendency to fall off. And with the track temps, yeah, I noticed a lot more here in Michigan, especially the racing groove just kept getting higher and higher, which helped because the car was getting loose coming off, so you actually had to ride a nice high line up there.
All right, and next week you guys do head to a road course. You guys head to Sonoma. Are you planning to be there?
Yeah, I'll be there. I I enjoy road course racing. It's been a while since Sonoma, so I'll see what it's like.
All right, well, congrats once again on your win. And you do start on the pole. You come away with a win, 108 laps led. Anybody you'd like to give a shout out to tonight?
I'd like to shout out to GAC crew, Lazy Days Racing for sponsoring the race, and for PBR for putting on a good show tonight.
Congrats once again, and we hope to see you next week out at Sonoma.
Awesome. Thank you. Take care.
And we will pull in our second place finisher, Chris Grosso, in TeamSpeak. I think we are missing our second place driver at the moment. We'll move ahead and go to our third place driver, David Howard Jr. David Howard Jr., you got a copy?
Yes, sir. I got you, bud.
Well, you come away with a third place finish tonight, and it was hard fought. But how was the car out there tonight?
Man, it was like you said, that was a long, hot night, man. It was pretty tight, but then late in the run, it always seemed to snap loose on us. So it was something you always had to kind of prepare for and try to take care of the tires early in the run, so it wouldn't snap on you late, you know.
Now, last week we did see you kind of struggle a little bit. You came away with an 11th place finish. Was that kind of weighing on your mind coming into tonight's race?
Yeah, that was just a bad call on a pit strategy that cost us last week, and I think this week we kind of that kind of sorted itself out. We got rid of some people on the box, and hopefully that'll clear those things up, and hopefully we can get back to running well.
Speaking of those pit stops, what did you think about the green flag run out there tonight?
I absolutely love it, man. It's pretty awesome to race in a league that has this quality of drivers. 145 laps and a lot of hard racing and a setup that falls off like that one does. Snapping free like I was explaining. Hats off to the guys for doing that, man. That's what we want.
Now, next week you guys do change it up. You're going to the road course at Sonoma. What's your thoughts on Sonoma?
Well, I've never been too fast at the place, but I absolutely love doing it. Road coursing is probably my favorite style of racing in these big cars. I don't know why. I just love it. Not necessarily fast at it, but I'm excited about it.
Well, you start 8th tonight. You come away with a third place finish. You made it all the way up to second at 1.2. So congrats on that. Anybody you'd like to give a shout out to tonight?
Yeah, big shout out to my wife and daughter and any fans we have out there watching. I got some Facebook friends and personal friends of mine that go back and watch these things if they get a chance, and always appreciate them. Appreciate Paul putting on the league and all he does and all the admins. It's a lot of hard work to deal with this, and they do a wonderful job of doing it. And I haven't found a call that I disagree with yet. So hats off to those guys and all of our sponsor, Lazy Days Racing is the big one, sponsoring all of our series. Tonight was Portside Jaguar. Thank them. Candles by Amy. I'm sure I'm going to leave somebody out. Creekfire.com. Just a lot of guys that help support this league, and not necessarily me personally, but support the league, which I benefit from. So we sure appreciate all those guys.
Well, congrats on your third place finish tonight, and we hope to see you next week back on the podium out at Sonoma.
Hey, thanks a lot, man. I sure hope so.
All right, and we will take a look at the results just a moment here. All right, let's take a look at the results for tonight. Keith Mayato will come away with a win. Christopher Grosso will finish second place. David Howard Jr. will finish third. Shane Pippola will finish fourth. Adam Baker will round out the top 5. Lupe Gonzalez had a strong night, will finish 6th. Chris Samard will finish 7th tonight. Lynn McNeese will finish 8th. Jim Locking will finish 9th. Stephen Burnett will finish 10th. Jeff Sharp will finish 11th. Justin Kern in 12th. Mark McFadden in 13th. Aaron Riley in 14th. Paul Cohen will round out your top 15. Bob Skinner will finish 16th. Seth Hatchell 17th. Jeff Glockner in 18th. Joe Mitchell in 19th. Paul Zoda will round out your top 20. And rounding out your field tonight, David Gainforth will finish 21st, and Dean Viney will finish 22nd. So with that, I'd like to thank all the many sponsors that support Southern Motorsports, including iRacing World, O2 Dermrelief, Cindy's Finds, Portside Jaguar and Land Rover, Joe Owen Towing, Candles by Amy, CS Hobby, BZ Designs, and Lazy Days Racings. Thank you to Paul Zoda, Aaron Riley, and Joe Mitchell for allowing Parks Brothers Broadcasting to bring you the race tonight. Thanks to everyone watching at home, and make sure to subscribe to Parks Brothers Racing for your weekly Lazy Days Racing broadcast. Next week, SoMO goes road as they head to Sonoma for 45 laps of hard racing action. Until next time, race clean, race hard, and we'll see you on the track.
Do more and stay active with O2 Dermrelief, the ache and pain relief gel like no other. No smell, no tingling sensation, and no greasy feel, O2 Dermrelief is a natural pain relief for everyday aches, pains, bumps, and bruises. Oxygen is the secret. It's the natural way to relieve and revitalize. Your joints, muscles, and skin need oxygen to thrive, and O2 Dermrelief delivers a rich supply of molecular oxygen in a new, state-of-the-art formula. Every day we hear new stories of pain relief from satisfied customers. Shouldn't you try O2 Dermrelief too? Score a $5 discount on your purchase of O2 Dermrelief. Visit O2Dermrelief.com and use promo code SOMO999. That's the letter O, the number 2, Dermrelief.com, and enter SOMO999 to get your $5 discount.